game number 1 on merry-go-round. The score is 0-0. It's a best of 3. And we'll see who pulls it through. A random player versus a Zerg. If Professor Oak spawns as Protoss, I mean, he did pretty... he's got a decent
He
Protoss.
did pretty well. He actually said that I was chatting with him a little bit afterwards because I was really impressed by his play as a random. Usually when I see a random in Gold or Platinum, I just expect them to know 1 or 2 cheeses as each race. And so I really expect to see some aggression in the first, like, 5 to 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, he's probably going to cannon rush or proxy 2-gate because those are easy builds, right? Or maybe if he's an advanced one, right? Blink Stalkers, but he played straight up both games. He spawned as Protoss both games, and he played really well. So
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first game was a little questionable by you, but regardless, do you want to introduce our random champion spawning in as a Protoss?
yeah, absolutely. So Professor Oak, our random player, spawning as Protoss at the top right, sporting the color of pink. We have Professor Oak.
Dude, he's gonna show him where the Pokemon are or something, right? Or wait,
I hope so. I really am. I'm a little disappointed by his clan's picture.
Yeah.
By the base.
It
It's a
needs
yin
to
and
be...
yang symbol. I would love a Pokeball there.
Yeah. I think Major was in like some Pokemon clan, right? He needs to get in that.
He's a really funny dude. Is he Mexican? Where's he from?
Major? Yeah, he's Mexican.
Okay.
Major is goofy. He like just every now and then shows up and he like wins, or not. He doesn't really win something, but he like kills off some Koreans and then
right. He goes to the round of 8 or something.
Yeah. So
everyone. Well, didn't he get into a Korean league of some? Like, didn't he get into GSL one year or something like that?
No, he was on a Korean team for a little bit. Regardless, we're gonna talk about the man from the Alpaca Pack. I love his. I want to be in that clan, to be honest. We've got AlpacaRampge. So he's playing up against a random player as a Zerg. He's not really sure what to do, or you don't know what your opponent's doing, so you go with this really standard 15 spawning pool.
Got some shifty shenanigans out of Professor Oak, dropping him proxy.
Yep. Probably. He likes the Stargate. I mean, kind of. We've only seen a couple games from him, but
right.
Kind of
an interesting location. It is pretty close by air, but unfortunately for him, it's within range of that Zelnaga tower.
Dude, so, you gotta live that YOLO life, right?
Yep, you gotta yell YOLO swag.
Yep.
And then go for the proxy anyway. The worst thing of all time is when I scout my natural or something like that, and there's a pylon and a gateway building, and I'm like, all right, it's a proxy 2-gate, and then I lose anyway because the guy just says, F it, I'm going for it, and then I...
Yep.
Yeah. Not so uncommon in my games.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things where you're like, well... Or, what build is it? There's a number of builds that, like, I see it coming, and I'm like, all right, it's gonna be this, and then it just doesn't work. I just can't do it.
7-gate all in, 1 gas.
Yeah. No, I don't know. No, I don't lose to just zealots as much anymore. I've learned.
That's good.
Professor Oak is banking quite a bit of gas.
Yeah, he's I mean, the most common play out of a proxy Stargate against a Zerg is to open 2 oracles. We'll see what he decides to do. He might be pulling a style play.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was maybe picking up on your carrier. Maybe you watched the replay, checked out the build. He's going for it. I'm sure you've spent many months optimizing that build, right?
Yes, I have been dreaming and thinking about it for many moons. Professor Oak taking what looks like a late probe scout. Narrowing down the possibilities of where his opponent could be. Stargate finishes, starts an Oracle, chronos it right away. And really, Alpaca doesn't have a ton to deal with this. He's going to have 3 queens.
I mean, I think
pretty quickly around when the Oracle arrives. Luckily, starting the second one in his main,
yeah,
which it looks like is where the Oracle is rallied to, but can still, I mean, Oracles are scary, scary things. He could still get a few drone kills, rather.
yeah, he'll probably definitely get a few. Having those two queens there is really nice. Pretty fortunate.
Right. The only thing is if he doesn't target fire well here,
yeah.
The auto AI of the Oracle will fight the queens.
Yeah.
Looks like he gets 3, gets a 4th, and that's some decent work there. Not bad. Doesn't start a second Oracle. Be interesting. It looks like he's going to try to take an expansion.
Yeah. That seems like a really... I don't know. It seems like a pretty late expansion. I guess there's that 4 gate coming down.
Yeah, it absolutely is. You can proxy a Stargate and fast expand behind that safely because of the power of Protoss, especially if, like he's done
the
here,
mothership core.
you SimCity and you get an early mothership core. SimCity at your main ramp.
Yep.
To protect you from any really early pool. Or just like a 2-base Ling Flood sort of shenanigans.
Yeah.
But he's really pretty safe right now taking this expansion. Though it is pretty late. We'll see if he's able to get any other productivity out of his oracles. We do have a spore at the main of Alpaca.
Yeah. And I guess something beneficial from that oracle from ProfessorOak is that he did see the gases of the Zerg, and he saw that they were just kind of started up. If he clicked on them, you can see not a whole lot of gas had been mined, so
right.
It's pretty easy to tell, okay, he delayed gases for a while, he's not going to be aggressive for a while. Definitely safe to expand.
If he clicked on gases coming, I think that's a...
Yeah, but
it's a bit...
I think he saw that the second gas... Actually, I don't think it had any drones in it yet at all, so... Maybe. I mean, he's Professor Oak. He's got a PhD, man.
That's true. So we've got roaches coming out for Alpaca. What do you think of that choice? Double upgrades?
I mean, he's going for that 1-1 speed roach timing. A little bit later than maybe Stefano would do it, but well, not
right.
Stefano. Stefano wouldn't even do it. A little bit later than Sulky would do it. Stefano would already be on Swarm Host right now. He'd just be hanging out, eating a baguette, sporing up. Stefano, I can just assume, like, when he plays his Swarm Host games, he just, like, chills out, like, lights up a cigarette, just, like, grabs a baguette, and just has a good old time. Because I would not be able to play games like he does, because it's so boring. It's literally just being patient.
Right. And at this point, I would love to see Alpaca take a third behind his roach push. He's got a lot of roaches out, still hanging at home. I don't know if he's anticipating some sort of aggression here, or if he's just not feeling safe pushing out. There are 4 sentries at home for Professor Oak, so if he force fields even roughly well, he should be able to take that fight really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit understandable because he's waiting for these upgrades to finish up, but yeah, he should probably be halfway across the map by now to really hit that efficient timing. But
right.
Let's see.
Professor Oak starting his +1 armor,
getting those giraffes going.
But I mean, the thing is here, both players saturated on 2 bases. Really going to favor the Protoss as time goes on, especially with that strong SimCity. He's been able to get way ahead on his tech.
Yeah,
he's got his first Colossus coming out shortly.
Yeah, I kind of don't want Alpaca to attack up this ramp. I want him to just say, all right,
he's going for it.
He's going for it. Those
really late force fields, the sentries coming out. Let's see what he's able to do there.
If he force fields him out, that's fine. But if he force fields him in, I'm like more scared there.
Stutter in, Alpaca. Stutter in. Stutter in, Alpaca.
You got this.
You can do it. Oh, he's
got
going
the pylon,
for it.
Though. That's good.
He's feeling crazy. He yelled out yellow swag. No sentries alive. Photon overcharge is down. And it's strong, but anytime roaches are trading with anything, you're going to have a good time. Alpaca getting some good work done here. 5 probes going down. Decided to pull out.
That, I mean, yo, Alpaca's got some alpaca bravery, because I wouldn't have done that.
Scared.
He ain't scared of nothing. Dude, it's like you say, you gotta let him know, you know?
Gotta let him know that you're crazy.
You crazy.
And you're willing to do stuff.
And he's, I mean, I think he's sensing blood, because he's not expanded. I mean,
right.
You would usually say, yeah, go for, you know, deny the Protoss third, get your expansion, get your hive down, but
right. But if he pushes before this wall is down, still no sentries.
Yeah,
up for Professor Oak. The wall isn't done, and he's doubled the supply. I mean, sure, it's roaches, but double the supply is double the supply, even if he doesn't take this Colossus down.
Yeah, although Thermal Lance just finished, so while that Colossus wasn't as effective last fight, this time it's gonna sit up on that cliff and just poke away and fry off.
Right. If he's able to micro forcing the Colossus to come down, he might have an okay time. But now he's got 2 Colossus, and that's kind of the magic number of what you need to defend yourself against just about any Roach Hydra aggression in the game. Of course, still it's going to be challenging to take one of the thirds, especially on a map like this where they're a little bit more open as far as the attack paths available.
Yep.
Professor Oak, though, committed to the dream, committed to the goal. 2 bases, many roaches. Once again, jumping up 25 above the supply, 35, make that. The army supply of Professor Oak.
Yeah,
Professor Oak cannoning up at his natural.
Yeah, I'm a little like I just really want Alpaca to take that third, and he keeps understanding that Professor Oak is on 2 bases, but you really want to be 1 base ahead, because this little meat grinder right here, it's not where you want to be with roaches.
3 Colossus out now. Roaches being roasted.
Getting roasted. I mean, yeah, Alpaca does have a great upgrade lead, to be honest. And maybe this will be, I mean, we don't know how this game is going to quite go yet, but if Alpaca doesn't quite make it through, maybe tonight or something, he can look at this replay and say, you were way ahead in upgrades. If you get your hive down, if you get literally 2 Vipers out, and you just pull those Colossus into your army,
right. It's game over.
It is really game over.
Because we're looking at Professor Oak on, I mean, the Protoss Death Ball, but really he's just Stalker Colossus.
Yeah,
which is versatile, but it's not a strong army by itself.
Yeah, it can't do a whole lot against those high-tech spellcasters of Zerg, like the Viper especially. Even, I guess, Infestors, if you catch them out on the field.
Yeah, well, the big thing here is it takes away their ability to stutter.
Yep.
And so if you're able to catch a Colossus, it dies, or if you're able to catch some Stalkers out of position, then those can die too. No Twilight still. Oh no, we do have a Twilight from our Protoss. I lied. Just hasn't researched Blink yet.
Hey man.
Which is kind of curious.
It's aesthetic of that Twilight, you know. It's a pretty good looking building.
It's a good looking building. Blink, of course, here though makes the Stalkers a lot more mobile, a lot stronger. Allows you to poke out a little bit with them, get them in better positions in engagements. But more importantly, right now is he's not really aware of whether or not. I mean, for all he knows, Alpaca could have a a third and fourth base, and he could have made a giant muta switch out of that, freeing up the Roach supply, and there could be 40 mutas flying around, and it's just so hard to catch them without Blink.
Yeah.
Of course, at this point, he could probably base trade. Alpaca is going though for roaches still, and the Swarm Host has decided. Swarm Host, good unit.
I don't know if this would have been a bigger surround with the roaches.
Oh no! What did he target?
He was trying to get that Colossus, but he's body blocked by the Stalkers and just kind of runs around and really not able to take a very efficient engagement there. In fact, quite the opposite. Pretty rough. pretty hard position to be in. And once Professor Oak gets up on this ramp, he's going to be feeling like he's in a great position, and he's going to be able to kill off these Zerg units just as they're popping out, not really allowing them to.
And right now they're just
up.
rallied. They're streaming right on over to their deaths by lasers. 2-2, unfortunately, not going to finish. Oh, make that 3-3. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, Alpaca did a great job with the upgrades this game, to be honest. I think he just missed out on getting a couple extra bases and getting up to a hive. Because, like, as we look at it right now, he's getting knocked out, but he's got 2,000 minerals and 1,000 gas, which is remaking half of an army or so.
Right.
He just doesn't have the larva to do it. He doesn't really have the unit composition to make that effective.
Right, and with as long as he was able to keep Professor Oak in his base, he probably could have built, you know, a third, a fourth, and a macro hatch, essentially. So even with missing some of his injects, he would have been able to have a lot more larva to spend there. Good game was called, though. And we go into game number 2.
Yep. And really not poorly done by Alpaca, that's for sure. I think he's probably just not used to like the follow-up of that attack. Because I mean, he might have been like, all right, I usually just win with this one, you know. I move out, I kill off whatever they have, and I move into their base, and I knock them out, and it's great. But he might just not be used to doing that. So it looks like, all right.
I might drop off again and play Aegis, and then come back. I should get knocked out. If I don't get knocked out, my ego's going to be huge because Aegis is way better than me. But I should be back in like 11 minutes.
Yeah. Do you? Yeah.
After both of our games.
How long do 2 bunker rushes take?
Probably less. I'll just leave if you build a bunker.
It sounds like Honey Bear probably maybe 2-0'd Rexa. Do you want to double check on that?
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna do play a Hypernia, right? Or no? I don't know what I told him.
Yes, I think those are sick games. Those would be sweet to cast. Of course, we could do Yoshi and Phoenix Arc too, or Gumball. We could do, because play and Hypernia will be playing longer.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, definitely. They're not like knocked out yet. I guess we'll probably hang out in the losers round. Okay, so play a Hypernia can do their matches. Hypernia, feel free to start phone matches. Won't be cast. Trying to cast losers bracket rest of stage. Okay, so we're gonna make Deadwing as our second. I should be back in 11 minutes. Sorry, Sam's girlfriend. Silvare. Oh boy.
I just get...
You're getting burned on a little bit. Although, I think your lovely wife knows all about Sam and his awkward passion for StarCraft. Knows all about that face getting red though, you know.
That's right. Gets so hot. Okay, I'm gonna drop off. Aegis should beat me in several minutes.
Okay.
So I should be back for game 3.
Okay.
Good luck.
Well, all right. Sounds good. All right. So we've got game 2, Professor Oak against AlpacaRampge. We'll see how it goes. Alpaca was looking decent, to be honest. Have fun. We will start it up. He was looking pretty decent last game. He wasn't quite able to like continue on after his first attack. I think he's probably just not very comfortable with the transition out of that and into going into a little bit of a longer game. You know, when you're in a little bit lower leagues, games usually finish a little bit faster. You don't have to deal with all of those, like, the variability of, like, oh, well, you know, I killed his forge when I attacked, but I didn't really get his natural down. So how do I transition into this? You know, he might not have known quite what to do there, so he just kind of kept on autopilot, and, you know, Professor Oak showed that he knew how to deal with that, and he knew how to clean up what AlpacaRampge was going for. So we are coming in onto Deadwing in this best of 3, the second match of the series, second game of the match. You know what? Nouns are hard. It's okay. Spawning up on the top side of the map as the purple Zerg, we have AlpacaRampge from the Alpaca Pack. I love that clan, I love that icon, and I am going to request that I can join it shortly after these games, to be honest. And then down on the bottom side of the map, ProfessorOak, he's not spawning in as a Protoss anymore, he's a Terran. He's got a Terran on Deadwing, he is the pink Terran. We're going to see a different play out of him, and it's going to be awesome. I don't know, I think I'm really looking forward to seeing what ProfessorOak's arsenal is for his other races. We've just seen Protoss so far, and he's pretty solid as a Protoss. So I'm really curious about his Terran play. It looks to be kind of standard. I would think a barracks should be coming down before this gas, unless this is some sort of quick add-on. I don't know Terran. I'm like the worst Terran ever. It's okay. On the other side of the map though, AlpacaRampge, still he's playing with that unknown of playing against a random player. You don't know what race they are yet. If he knew he was Terran, he would probably go for this 15 hatchery right away. But since he's not sure, he's going for the 15 spawning pool. Choosing to stay safe, which is, it's always a good choice, to be honest. When in doubt, play pretty safe. Well, that's my motto. Then again, I'm only a diamond Zerg, so don't listen to me, maybe. Okay. So back into the game a little bit. We've got ProfessorOak. What are you doing, buddy? He's getting a quick factory, I guess. That's probably what the quick gas is for. Since he's not making a Reaper, usually you go supply, depot, barracks, gas. Get a Reaper out, get that scouting information. However, ProfessorOak choosing to scout with his SEV instead. He sees this expansion building, he sees this spawning pool, and he also is able to see that there's no gases coming down. So he knows that he's pretty safe for now. There's not going to be Zergling speed out for quite a while. And so he can kind of do what he wants to do. And it looks like what he wants to do is going to be going into Reactored Hellions, which I as a Zerg, many games full of rage have come from Reactored Hellions. It's a very frustrating composition to deal with those really fast Hellions, because sometimes it just catches you off guard. Suddenly you're macroing away, you've got your drones, you've got your lings, and you're like, hey, I'm having a great day, and then 10 Hellions show up at your front door, and yeah, it doesn't go so well. But AlpacaRampge, we'll see what he can do about it. I'm expecting a Banshee as well coming out of ProfessorOak. Something to note though, AlpacaRampge, well, it doesn't show him too much, but he does see that there's a lot of gas going down by ProfessorOak. Unfortunately, it'd be great if he could see this, and he could see this reactored factory in the starport coming down, because that way he knows, ooh, it might be Hellion drops. Actually, never mind, it's a starport with the tech lab, so it's definitely a Banshee. I'm an idiot. Confusing that there's a Marine coming out of this barracks. I would think it'd be lifting to swap with that starport, but maybe just a little bit of muscle memory getting in the way. We've got our gases coming down from AlpacaRampge. He seems to prefer to do this in most of his matchups, which when you're down in Silver League or something like that, really just having a solid build order that you're really comfortable with is often the best choice. You don't want to try and mix it up too much. You're just going to get yourself into, you know, if you're the jack of all trades and master of none, well, suddenly, you know, you're kind of flopping all over the place. So I'm okay with this. I'm okay with the fact that he's just going for that roach build. Unfortunately, it does leave him extremely open to these Hellions. ProfessorOak, he's going straight into the main base. Now, AlpacaRampge, if he's able to hold off here, he just needs to hold on. He just needs to keep his drones alive. Not managing to do that extremely well right now, but he does have roaches that can be made. He already has this roach one. Oh, the drones. Oh, they're lined up. They're stacked on top of each other quite a lot, and they're... Oh boy. 20 drones have gone down for AlpacaRampge. For a little while he was maintaining a drone lead, regardless of that Hellion run by, but that last stack of drones that got roasted, oh boy, it hurts. It hurts real hard. My little Zerg heart can't handle it very much. So now he's down to 19 drones against 23 SCVs. And it... I don't know, I guess the positive might be that ProfessorOak is only on one base as well. So AlpacaRampge, he's got a very, I mean, with these two bases with queens on them, he can resupply. He's got a lot of larvae. He can get his drone count going decently. If he's able to, I'm a little confused about this tech lab though. I would think it would be made, it would be banshees, you know? But it looks like instead he's getting stim. So he's... Oh, this will be the Hellbat follow-up. Oh, this is rough. Oh, man. This is... yeah, it just comes back down to... I'm all for being against the Hellbat, to be honest. And that's just me being Zerg and me being salty, to be totally straight with you. Because Hellbats, it's a fine strategy. I guess the thing that AlpacaRampge maybe has going for him is he does have roaches. Unfortunately, ProfessorOak has medevacs, and so this is going to be some Hellbat drops coming down, which can be very tough to deal with just roaches, because if you micro your medevacs very well, you can pick up your Hellbats, fly them around, keep them safe, pick off drones willy-nilly, and you just try to, you just don't engage the roaches. You just fly away, you stay safe, you pick off drones wherever you can, and you're having a pretty good time as a Terran. I'm not too sure though what like the transition for this will be. I guess it's mech. Yeah, it's mech. I suppose the engineering. Never mind. We're going biomech. I'm gonna call it biomech. It's fine. I'd be curious if there will be tanks after this or not. Then again, we have to get to that point, and maybe he's not doing Hellbat drops though. We will see. Both players just choosing to stay back at home for now. Choosing just to get their upgrades going, get their infrastructure going. I assume ProfessorOak is probably pretty comfortable with the fact that he got a whole bunch of drone kills. He knows that he got a lot of drone kills. He's feeling very good about that. And he knows that, you know what, I'm probably ahead. I'll just stay home for now. You know, the Zerg player kind of has to do something. Once one player in a matchup, you know, gets a lot of those worker kills, the other player oftentimes is either forced to be really greedy and take an extra base or two and hope that their opponent doesn't attack, or they, on the other hand, will have to just move out and try and attack to make up for the fact that that they've lost a bunch of drones or, you know, whatever worker you have. So it's either be greedy or kind of go all in and attack. And unfortunately, we do have a lot of kind of idle roaches. However, ProfessorOak, considering a move out, he has one tank with his army. He'll have a second one following up, but I don't think it'll be in this fight. These roaches moving out, they're 1-1 against the +1 weapons and +1 weapons for both types, bio and mech. And it looks like this roach army probably managing to clean it up. It's like impossible to see that fight. this little tower. Okay, never mind. The power of Terran is ridiculous. And those medevacs on top of the Hellbats and the Marines really helped him out. The Marines actually do, well, they do have +1, which kind of helps out against the +1 armor of the roaches. So they'll be doing a decent amount of DPS. The Hellbats and the Marines being healed by that. And yeah, that was a fight that I thought I always criticize people for calling fights. You're like, oh, he's got it, right? Nope. I just never call fights. I guess the medevacs, it's really a pretty high medevac count for the army size, relatively. So pretty much all the units are being able to be healed up as quickly as they're taking damage. So now, AlpacaRampge, like the other game, being pretty vigilant on his upgrades, which is great for the upgrades. However, it might result in him having a smaller army than he really needs right now, you know? Like instead of spending money on these upgrades, sometimes it's just better to have those extra 15 roaches or something. It's kind of a trade-off. It's like better in the long term, but right now this sort of fight where I think I can pretty definitively say that the Terran is going to end up coming out of this fight in a much more favorable position than the Terran player. And unfortunately for AlpacaRampge, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold this. He's going to get sieged up. These medevacs are going to continue to heal everything on the field. These tanks will continue to just kind of leapfrog their way up into AlpacaRampge's natural expansion and put a whole lot of pressure onto his researching evolution chambers, put some pressure onto his hatchery, and AlpacaRampge is in a position where he needs to choose to do something, but what can he do? He's not able to reinforce quite in time, and it looks like he's probably, after a little bit of maybe sitting at his computer thinking about how did this game go, you know, what happened, how did I manage to get myself into this position, he's going to consider probably tapping out pretty soon. Yeah, it is. It's not looking so great for the Zerg player. And Hibernia, yo, you're mentioning in chat that it's 80 degrees out, and I hear you so hard. It is so hot right now, like casting in this room for so long. But yeah, it looks like, unfortunately for AlpacaRampge, this marks what will be the end of his tournament run. ProfessorOak, a random player, will be moving on. AlpacaRampge says GG, choo-choo from ProfessorOak as well. And that is game 2, taken by our Pokemon Doctor? Pokemon Professor? I don't know, man. But yeah, good game though. It was a fun game.